This video is about how to prepare your water bricks or other water storage containers for water storage. So if you have a water brick, we'll go ahead and take off the cap. We're going to start by putting in a little bit of soap and some water. Okay, replace the lid. And just make sure the whole thing gets cleaned out. Obviously we want to rinse this so that we have no soap residue left inside. Do that one more time. Okay, so once your container has been cleaned with soap, then we're going to add a 1/4 cup of bleach and 1 cup of water. So we have our bleach here, 1/4 cup. And a cup of water. I'm going to replace the cap because we also want the cap to be rinsed by the bleach solution. It's a little awkward here with the handle attached, so you can do it attached with the handle attached or unattached. Okay, so now obviously what we want to do is get all the surfaces inside the brick. The bricks have, 2 holes worked into their structure, so it is a little tricky. You want to make sure you're getting all the surfaces. Now, once that's done, we want to make sure that we're not touching the inside of the container or the cap. So I'm going to be careful with what I do now. For sure, pouring bleach anywhere is not a great thing environmentally, but the more we dilute it with water, the better. So rinse. I'm also going to rinse the cap. So once that's done, we're ready to fill the container with tap water or filtered water if you prefer. So we'll go ahead and do that. So you do want to fill this to the very top. It holds 3 gallons of water each one. That's enough water for 1 person for 3 days. So I'm going to replace the cap and really tighten it. Okay, Now this is ready for storage, and one of the things I want to make sure before I store this, especially if we're storing these inside, is to make sure that it won't leak. These are very good products, and most of the time they don't leak, but occasionally you may have one that has a defect, and it does. So of course we want to find that out before we get it inside on our rug or wherever we're keeping this. So we want to test it out and just tilt it over as it will be stored and look and see if it is leaking. Of course it's a little wet, so I would want to dry around the area, you know, where I'm looking for the leak, and then see if anything is coming out. This one looks fine. If there were to be a leak, what WaterBrick recommends is that you take some cooking oil and you actually remove the lid. Take your cooking oil, put a little bit on your finger or your glove, and then go around the outside threads. Okay, so again, we're not going to touch the inside at all. And then we'll replace the cap. So WaterBrick says that if you are experiencing a leak, try this first, and then if it still is happening, send it back to them and they'll replace it for free. Okay, so there we are. We've got a clean WaterBrick ready to store, and what they recommend is that it be stored in a cool and dark place. So if we're and also on something stable, so a pallet or maybe just a standard piece of wood or whatever you may have. We're using this table at the moment as our stable base. So I'm going to lift this onto there. And the way the WaterBricks are designed, they're sort of made like Legos, so they stack together, sort of locking together. And some people even make a table out of these and put them in their house so that it's also something that they can use. So just like that. And then the last thing we would do is cover the WaterBricks. So we want them to be in a dark space, and we have a tarp that we would put over these. This will be good for a year. So what we want to do is also mark on the containers the date that we filled them. So today is October 20. And then we'll know in a year's time that we can dump the water and refill it again to keep it fresh. Or of course you can use a water sanitizer extender, and I'm not sure what the life of the water is with those, but that's another option too. Okay, let's go ahead and just plan to do this in the next few days if you can, and just check it off your list and know that it's done. Okay, thanks for watching.